Yep.
I used to cop a lot, but never cop no drop. Hold mics like ponytails tight and bobble ops. Stop.
You are now listening to the Orange and Blue Crew. Here are your hosts, King JJ and AnytimeKnicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Orange and Blue Crew. It has been a hot minute since we did one of these episodes. Obviously joined by AnytimeKnicks. It feels good to be back talking some New York Knicks basketball. How we doing on this great Sunday evening?
Yo, what's good, bro? It's good to be back, man. Talking Knicks, of course. We had a crazy game yesterday, man. So, yo, shout out to State and them guys, man. They ran a fucking marathon space, man. So,
they were going
appreciate
crazy.
Everybody. Yeah, I kept going in and out. I couldn't stay in there for too long, man. I just was anticipating talking Knicks with you, so I was trying to make sure that I didn't absorb too much because you kind of pick up shit. So this is my first time talking about the game outside of the post game space, man. Got a little time to rest on things, and now I'm ready to talk about it, break it down from a more calm standpoint. But we're gonna keep it real, man, because we got some things to talk about.
We do got some things to talk about, but let's start off as we normally do. I like to start off by when we get the chance to talk about the positives, and the positives was this 5-game win streak the Knicks went on. They played very good basketball in 3 out of 5 of these games. A little sloppy against the Hawks, a brick fest against Brooklyn, because Brooklyn is basically their NBA Finals for us. That's how they play against the Knicks. They treat this series like they treat Knicks Nets like it's their NBA Finals. That's just how they do it. But I mean, I'm not gonna crap on them too much because they've been through enough as
it's fuck them. It's definitely fuck them.
Obviously, but they've been through enough.
Yeah, I mean so I kind of got like a capsule take. Like, I don't listen. This 5-game win streak was cool, but I'm a what have you done lately kind of guy. You're gonna always hear me say that. Recency bias. Those are like my 2 catchphrases, man. If you really pay attention to my takes. I like the run that we went. I felt like we was turning the corner, man. But then some glaring issues just reared its ugly head in that Lakers game, man. So we got to talk about it, bro. We got to talk about it.
Let's hop into it. 128 to 112. It was a game that was close for the majority of it, but then disaster struck and then all hell broke loose. No other way to describe it. I'm going to let you give your take first because I know you were locked in on this game. To be honest with you, I was a little bit locked into the Royal Rumble, so I wasn't paying as much attention to this game as you were. So I feel like it's only right if you were to discuss it first.
Well, we got to start with Karl Anthony Towns. Hey, listen, man, it was some glaring things on the court, man. I was tweeting as I was watching the game, but I was very focused on the game. Like, even though I was tweeting, it was hard for me to not call out the fact that Cat's energy was glaringly low effort. You can't play like that, brother. If you're going to get out there on the floor, you got to give it your all. And I felt like the thing that people who call Cat soft or who says he doesn't give enough effort. They got some validity to what they saying, man. And last night was it was glaringly obvious. I didn't like Karl Anthony Towns. I didn't like his shot selection. I didn't like his effort. I felt like there was times when I seen Max Christie box him out. Can't have that. Absolutely not. You let LeBron come in there in the Garden, 40-year-old. He's having his way. I'm not going to put all of that on Karl Anthony Towns because he wasn't guarding him in, but it's
that
the
man
narratives,
LeBron.
you feel me?
That man LeBron pisses me off so much. I swear.
Yeah,
I hate this dude.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, JJ. Up until OG came out the game, I really wasn't impressed with LeBron. I just
Me
wasn't.
neither. Yeah,
I
me
felt like
neither.
he was playing his game, but it was the others. You got guys like Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith. They lit the Knicks up.
It felt
In the
like
second half, it was Austin Reeves, Max
yeah.
Christie, Gabe Vincent showed up to the party. We can't have that, man.
It felt
Can't
like
have
they
that.
were just. It felt
Bad
like
game.
I was getting a little bit of some flashbacks to the game against Utah earlier in the season because whatever shot the Lakers took, it went in. The Lakers were just not missing anything in that game.
Well,
and it was
that
so
will happen.
frustrating.
Yeah, that will happen when you're not guarding your man, or if someone else picks up your man on the switch. You have to make an effort to get out there and guard a guy, especially a known 40% shooter this season in Dorian Finney-Smith. I know that, you know, a lot of guys like overly kill Karl Anthony Towns, but yesterday's game was absolutely warranted, bro. He didn't step up, man. A lot of guys hit wide open fucking uncontested threes because he just refused to step out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's not that I don't know. I know for sure that this is what the coach wants. We're playing Karl Anthony Towns in the drop, and it's just like, when are guys gonna like start reacting and just doing basketball plays? Because I know the coach may be asking you to, do this, do that, but when does the instinct set in? When do you just say, you know what, I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna make an effort to stop these guys? Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. My son just walked in the room, so I'm a little bit. Come here. Say hi.
No word.
All right.
What's going on?
Yeah, he threw me off, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? Yo, shout out to Salvatore. I see you in the comments, brother. We got 55 people in here, so I appreciate y'all. JJ, I want to hear your thoughts on how you feel about the Knicks, man, because right now I'm in the middle. I feel like we on paper we're a contender, but with this looming OG and Anunoby injury, with the fact that we didn't play so well against a team with a lot of wings, we tend to struggle with that 3-point shooting heavy guys.
Yeah,
what's your stance on the team right now?
My stance on this. Okay, so I mean, I feel like it's only right. I'm gonna pull up this graphic because one of the topics on this show, I feel like that's a perfect segue into the next topic of the show. Are the Knicks legitimate finals contenders? Can this team go on a deep run? Can they get into late June basketball? As of right now, I'm going to say no, because I think that when it comes down to it, as of right now, if OG Anunoby is out for a while, I would be kind of concerned. Also, the depth.
Sit down. Nope. My fault. Sorry about that.
You good. I think that the depth is very lacking, and it really worries me when you look into a situation like this where you have like 5 or 6 guys that can go out there and do their thing. Like, I'm not going to say I'm like disappointed with what I've seen from like Campaign and Landry Shamet, but you can't rely on guys like Landry Shamet and Campaign to take you to the promised land. It's not going to happen when you're going up against, say, Oklahoma City in a 7-game series, with Oklahoma City got all these depth pieces, all these guys that can shoot. They got the Jalen Williams. You've got Aaron Wiggins, who can be a shooter at one point. You've got Isaiah Hartenstein, who's a stud. Like, you've got all these pieces on these teams. Like Boston. Boston's got a deep team. Cleveland's got a deep team. Denver's got a deep team. That's my biggest concern, is that I don't know how it's going to go if we're trotting out the same 6-7 guys a night, and if we're relying on Landry Shamet and Campaign. I'd be a little bit concerned, but that's just my opinion.
Yo, JJ, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Shout out to Stan. I see you in the comments.
Shout out to Salvatore. Shout out to Stan. Shout out to everybody.
Listen, I'm not gonna put it on our role players, although I feel like our role players are redundant. I love Deuce. I think Campaign's defense is something that gets overlooked, but I do feel like, you know, he's a little bit gung ho and he's a streaky shooter. And the last thing is, I feel like we need one more wing. If you look at the Lakers game the Knicks played last night, there's no way that LeBron James is being guarded by Landry Shamet.
No.
If Landry Shamet is our wing off the bench to alleviate Mikal or OG, don't like it. I've been saying this shit since they signed him. I'm on record. I done had a lot of fights with the timeline with the other Knicks fans about this guy Landry Shamet, man. And I'm not trying to kick the guy's back in. I just don't think he provides what he need, like what we need. I think campaign is what we think Landry Shamet is because he's a guy that could come in and defend, and he's a streaky shooter. He's going to knock down those threes. I just haven't been impressed with Landry Shamet. I think we need to look at one of these wings in the G League, man. I've been championing Chumo Kiki. I've been talking about TJ Warren. Shit, I even like Don Mitchell. He's another guy that's down in the G League balling out for the Westchester Knicks. Jacob Toppin, Pacome Daddier. We have an injury right now, people. Depending on what's going on with OG Anunoby, I haven't read no reports yet. I heard something about him being questionable for tomorrow's game. I'm gonna do a little research on that, but I'm just not sure, man. Like, and shout out to State, shout out to Stan, because this is why you play the kids.
Yeah.
When you don't give a Jacob Toppin spot minutes here and there, you know what I'm saying? Let's say we throw him into the fire. So you throw Jacob Toppin in the starting lineup. What the fuck is he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So now Mikal is gonna become the one and only defender we have. I like Jacob Toppin, but he's young. He's inexperienced as far as NBA minutes. It's gonna take him a little while to kind of hit a curve. You got other rookies in the league that's been turning up throughout the years. I always go back and I talk about Christian Braun. He helped the championship Denver Nuggets team. You know what I'm saying? In a limited role. This is what you do when you're a championship caliber team. You draft guys that can kind of help you a little bit, And I feel like we have that. We just haven't given these guys a chance, man. And I think that goes on the coach. As far as the Knicks being a contender, I'm looking at Jalen Brunson and I'm looking at Karl-Anthony Towns. It starts and it ends with those guys, man. And even Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby to a lesser extent, because they're the ones that's going to have the most toughest matchups on a nightly basis. You know what I'm saying? As far as like defending premier wings on the opposing team and, still giving us some offense and helping Jalen and Cat out. Yo, man, I think we're a good team. That's it.
Me too.
I don't think we're a contender yet, man. We haven't beaten any good teams yet. We started the month off with a loss. I had us pegged to win this game. You couldn't tell me that we was gonna lose to the Lakers. I knew LeBron was gonna have a game. I knew the others was gonna step up. Shout out to Deuce McBride and Precious Achua. I didn't expect Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson to fucking have 7 points apiece at the fucking halftime. 5 for 18 at the halftime.
That's not a recipe for success.
It's not. And I love those guys. They're Knicks. They got New York across their chest. I don't want to have to get on the screen and kill these guys, but they're not playing well. Like, we got some issues, y'all. And I'm sorry that I have to get on the camera and say that because I know Knicks fans want to hear positivity. But right now, what is there to be positive about? We just lost to a bunch of guys. And it was all effort. I'm not trying to kick the team back in for real. But to me, it was a lot of bad shot selection, poor defensive rotations, lack of energy and effort. Those are things that can be fixed. Not to mention the defensive rotations. I never want to see Landry Shamet guarding fucking LeBron James. I never want to see Landry Shamet when you got Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui Hachimura, and fucking Jared Vanderbilt on the floor. Like, I just don't – it's certain things I just don't want to see, man. And it's sad that it has to take for an OG Anunoby injury for us to see these guys. I think that's a little bit – it's a little bit asinine. But, we move. Going forward, we still got a chance to beat some good teams. We're going to see Boston. We're going to see Cleveland. We got Houston on Monday. We got some tough games coming up, man. Like, do we play Dallas this month?
I think so.
We might play Dallas this month. I got to go look at the schedule. But, yeah, thank God we don't see the Lakers again this month, man. Well, we got a lot going on in Nicklandia, man. We got to get this shit together, y'all. We got a lot to work on, man.
We do got a lot to work on. No, we do not see the Mavericks. It says we don't see the Mavericks till March 25th.
Okay. But yeah, man, right now I'm not convinced, bro. I hate that I have to get on the camera and say this, but I'm just not. I'm not there yet. Shout out to the 94 people, that 96, man. Shout out to the 96 people that's here. I definitely appreciate y'all for coming through, showing love.
We all do. Legends.
Yeah, so yeah, man. I don't know, man. We gotta. I'm not gonna say we got to. I hope that the Knicks, they use this OG Anunoby scare. They use this bad game from Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson as a learning moment. Tom Thibodeau as well.
Yeah.
Like we got to do better, y'all. We got to do better, and it starts with everybody. Nobody is above reproach, man. And that's where I'm at with it right now. We need better from everybody, especially if OG's not going to be in.
Yeah. The most unfortunate thing, in my opinion, is I think the reason that a lot of people are discussing this game over a lot of other games that like the Knicks have like not looked too good in is because the game was on prime time, which I feel like that's a little bit, that definitely has something to do with it. The fact that it's being, that it was put on blast on national TV that this is what the Knicks were on this particular day.
Not even, bro. Not even. I'm not gonna give ESPN the credit or the adulation of the Knicks being nervous. We just didn't play well. We literally didn't give it our all. There was easy adjustments to be made in this game, man. Easy, simple adjustments. We just didn't make them. We got a bunch of guys that, they fall in line because Leon Rose is Jalen's godfather. Tibbs and Leon Rose is cool. Everybody, CAA is just like, everybody has like some type of connective tissue to each other. So you're never going to get a moment where it's like anybody's going to step out of the pecking order and say, hey, man, we should do this different. They're going to listen to Tibbs. They're going to do what he wants. And this is why you have some people in the fan base call for a new coach. That's really all it comes down to for me, man. Like, JJ, take it away, man. I don't want to get too toxic, man. I don't want to
Tibb is the only guy that I would want coaching this team. I'm going to say this right now. I don't understand why so many people are going to call his head. Like, y'all treat Tom, like, I'm sorry if I'm going to bring up football real quick. The Knicks fans treat Tom Thibodeau like Steelers fans treat Mike Tomlin. One of the best coaches in the sport, yet he's got one bad game and y'all call for his head. Like,
JJ, here's the difference. Doesn't Mike Tomlin have a championship?
He does. But that was
Tom Thibodeau does not have one.
Yeah, but that was when Tomlin was like in his first season. He basically didn't even do much of anything. That was when you may as well say that Bill Cowher
has the mark of a champion. You cannot disregard that.
But
Thomas Thibodeau did not win as a coach. He won as an assistant coach, and he created ice in the screen and all of this great defensive shit. But he has not won a championship as an NBA head coach, man. We got to call a spade a spade. Mike Tomlin got it. He got it done at the highest of levels. We have yet to see this from Tom Thibodeau, man. You know what I'm saying? But we in it with him. Like, shout out to Ian Begley. I seen a few weeks ago, State asked Begley a question about the coach. They feel like he's already done enough to coach next season. We haven't even played a single minute of playoff basketball.
Yeah, I feel like
to me that's a little insane.
That is insane. I think the playoffs are going to determine my further stance. If I change my mind or start to think about evaluating Tibbs a different direction, it's going to have to do with however he does in this playoffs. But speaking of directions and thinking of the greater unknown, if we're going to be on it, I'm going to read some comments real quick. Born in 69 when Knicks won the chip, salute to Gerald Jones. 9-man rotation, run it up, Tibbs. I don't hate that idea. What's up, Jared? Hope you're doing good.
Hold up.
What do you got?
Because he said 9-man rotation.
He did say 9-man rotation.
Hold up. Let me tell you the bench minutes. Precious Achiuwa, 29. Miles McBride, 23. Oh, my God. Campaign, 6 minutes. Landry Shamet, 9. Yo, everybody else played 2 fucking minutes. That's not a 9-man rotation. You do the math. That's 7 guys, bro. This is a
7.
problem.
We
played 7 fucking guys. We played 7 guys, y'all. This is what we have to do.
Yeah, I agree. That was the difference between.
Insane.
That's the difference between last year's team. And you look at last year's team. Last year's team had so much depth. We basically ran an 11, 12-man rotation. Did it suck that they all pretty much died in the playoffs? Yeah, it did. The entire team was injured against the Pacers. And if they weren't going to be it, if they would have somehow got past the Pacers, the Celtics would have probably killed us completely, like ripped limbs off our.
Hold up.
What?
You never know what happens, man. I don't like to speculate on what ifs. The season played out how it played out. But Boston didn't play that well in the ECF, man.
It's not that.
If the Knicks are fully healthy, you never know.
Oh, yeah,
but absolutely. I digress. I'm not going to go crazy about it. They won the championship. They did what they did. You can't erase history. What's happened is set in stone. But I ain't going to lie to you. Watching the Indiana Pacers against them, I didn't feel like they belonged.
I know.
I feel like they got lucky against the Knicks. It is what it is.
They got lucky with injury luck, and everybody knows the Celtics championship is a paper championship. But moving on, the other thing that I want to talk about before we get into this trade deadline discussion and the Rockets is there is a player that the Knicks have. He's a big man. We've heard a lot about him, but do we know when he's coming back? Do we know whether he's going to stay a Knick? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Mitchell Robinson dilemma.
Oh, this is gonna be a good topic, man. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
All right, so I've been a Mitchell Robinson guy for a very long time. I love his toughness. I love his defense. I call him the block nest monster I've been calling him that for the longest time. But he can't stay on the court. That's my biggest issue with Mitch is he can't stay on the court. He continues to get injured. Now, was last year's injury his fault? No. Joel Embiid completely pulled him down on that play. Should Joel Embiid been ejected? Absolutely. That was one of the dirtiest plays I've seen in a long time. Completely pulled down his ankle. That is basically what he did. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Watch the tape. But he would be used so... I would say he is perfect for this team if he comes back and is healthy because the Knicks are lacking depth. They're lacking a second center. In my honest opinion, why do you think so many people are trying to get a second center at the trade deadline? You're hearing all the Jonas Valanciunas talk. Jack was telling me today about Dalton Connect, guys like that. All these big men that are definitely needed and necessary. Why is that? Because your second center is constantly getting injured. If you can get something good for Mitchell Robinson that's young, a center, I'm all for it. Like if you were to somehow convince Danny Ainge's heart to grow 3 sizes larger, if you were to give up maybe Mitch, a first rounder, et cetera, like decent assets, nothing major for Walker Kessler, I'd say do it in a heartbeat. If the Wizards, or if you want to get Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards and they want Mitchell Robinson, again, I would do it in a heartbeat. That is where I stand on this Mitchell Robinson topic. I know it's a soft spot for a lot of people. We got the Mitch fans. I'm not disrespecting Mitch. I mean, I love this dude, but it truly is the dilemma of our time.
Shout out to Mitchell Robinson, man. Longest tenured Knick. Just my personal opinion. I really hate the way the fan base just try to discard this guy, man. I hate that we kick a guy while he's injured and healing and trying to get back. I hate that the fans DM him and, I hate that he reacts to it as well because, as a businessman, as an adult, you shouldn't always react to things. But I've also been at a point where I feel like I had to address some things in the public, you know what I'm saying? Because it was spoken about in the public. So I get both sides. But from an organizational standpoint, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The Knicks got to keep Mitchell Robinson, and
okay.
I shout out to Deej or Tony. They kind of got to it before me, so I'm gonna give them credit. But like with this OG and Anunoby injury, he just becomes all the more important because now we need somebody that could shore up our paint defense. OG, he's a guy that you could put him 1 through 5. You know what I'm saying? He'll guard a center. He'll guard a forward. He'll guard whoever. we can't just rely on Mikal to be our only defensive stopper. We can't expect Josh Hart to play up against these bigger forwards and centers, and it's not going to work. So we need Mitch, man. We need Mitch. I think his stock just shot through the roof. Unless OG Anunoby comes back within a week or two, in a week or two, the trade deadline have been half past. So I really don't know what's going to go on with Mitch, man. I've been doing my hardest. I've been doing my due diligence to really give the fans a fair perspective and a very knowledgeable standpoint of what's going on with Mitch, because you got a lot of disinformation and misinformation out there, and people like to speculate. You know what I'm saying? The facts is the facts. Mitchell Robinson is running and jumping. Mitchell Robinson is on course to return sometime this season. When? Doesn't matter for me. We need him for the playoffs. And as long as we could give him a good ramp up, 10 to 15 games, I'm happy with that. I don't think Mitch gets moved. If he does, I'll be shocked. I'll be the first one to get on the timeline and say, hey, I stand corrected. Because there's a lot of guys that want Jonas Valanciunas. There's a lot of guys that feel like we maybe could trade Mitch on a 2-for-1 deal, get a couple wings in here. Maybe we give Ariel Hukporti a chance. You know what I'm saying? There's so many scenarios of things that could play out with Mitch. But right now, the Knicks are very reactionary. If you watch this team around this time of the year, anything goes wrong, or if anything is already going wrong, they're going to react to it because they're in win now mode. So that's
Absolutely.
the one thing that makes me worry about Mitch. You know what I'm saying? If he clears the deadline, that lets me know that they got a strong prognosis from the doctors that he's going to return 100%, whatever 100% looks like for a center that's had multiple foot and ankle injuries or whatever. You feel me? Lower extremities. So I think he'll be okay if he comes back in the fold, man. We're going to need him. We're going to need him. I just hope that, Tibbs takes it easy with this guy and doesn't just try to throw him in the fire. I would like for us to bring him along slowly, give him about, 12 to 15 minutes a night. You know what I'm saying? Don't really let him go past 18. Even when he's healthy, I don't want to see him hit more than 20 minutes. That's just where I'm at. And shout out to the 202 people in here. Shout out to D-Block. I see you in the comments, man.
Yes, I do.
I appreciate you, bro.
Says salute to my brother Jay from East in the Knicks community. Salute. What's up, Team GF? Hope all you Knicks fans are doing great on this Sunday night. We do this show in the afternoon, but Knicks Twitter was a shit show this afternoon.
Nah, it's the beauty. It's the beauty.
I know. That's the best part. That is the best part.
Because we gotta make sure that we preface this properly. I love when the fans come together and voice their concerns and, try to figure this shit out, because at the end of the day, the more we talk about it, the more we discuss it, the more we call out the team, it gets back to these players, man. 2 years ago when I first got on Knicks Twitter, there was some people in the community that felt like, the Knicks, they don't give a fuck about us. They don't hear us. They don't care what we talking about. And so many times, time and time again, we've been proving that they actually do listen to us.
Nah, they hear us.
I seen Brooke Rose and State's comments while he was doing the space. The title was clickbaity as fuck. It was shock value as fuck. But this is what's going on.
What was the title?
He said Leon Rose and Tibbs is fake, man. I don't know what he meant by that, but Mitchell Robinson, he's sharing me on his IG story. Shout out to my guy Ant. He went viral with a Tibbs meme. Mitchell Robinson shared that shit on his IG story. You know what I'm saying? Deuce McBride, he's looking out for Knicks Homer, posting the Knicks Homer, AI art and all of that. Like, so the community is definitely heard. We're definitely seen. So the more we talk about things and the more we speculate, it kind of puts the front office and the big wigs behind the scenes on notice. Like, we're a very, very smart fan base. This is New York, man. We're not dumb fans. We're going to talk about this shit. We're going to fucking stretch one scenario 7 different ways. Like, it's a pressure cooker. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Leon Rose and them guys is well aware about state space today. it was so many things said, man. They fucking had a 2-hour conversation about Pacone Daddy, man. I love it. I love it.
Only the Knicks fans will do that to you. Sports investor, part-time on 76ers, Nebraska, DePaul. Let's go on Memphis moneyline as well. Listen, man, I hope you get your money. All right, the next topic that I want to discuss is we've already touched on a lot of things, but People have brought it up a lot. You told us it's about a week from now. Let's talk about the trade deadline. Who are some guys that you want the Knicks to go after? Now, for those that have different opinions than me and Jay, if you're in the YouTube comments, now would be the time to join up on that open panel. We take literally anybody that joins up here. If
Yo,
you're for
JJ,
real, if you're trolling, go ahead.
real quick, can I DM you the trades and you post it on the screen? Can I
Sure.
do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a couple trades that's just, like this is not something that I feel like has to happen, y'all. So let me make sure I say that. What it is just more of like me just filling a void. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you trade a Mitchell Robinson, I would like for us to bring in 2 players for 1. There's been a lot of Gershon Yabusele talks. I'm going to send you that trade right there. It's a 3-team trade between the 76ers, the Knicks, and the Charlotte Hornets. To make the money work, because Philly is capped out, you would have to send out 2 players that make more money to bring in 2 players that make less. So the 76ers would be sending out Gershon Yabusele to the Knicks, and the Hornets would acquire Eric Gordon, and then the Hornets would be sending out Seth Curry, and the Knicks would be sending Jericho Sims. Now, the reason why I feel like this trade works is because Philly needs depth right now. They're playing like 6 or 7 guys, 8 guys, but they don't have a steady enough rotation. Andre Drummond is out with a toe injury. They got Cody Martin is out with an injury. So if you bring in a Seth Curry, he's a guy that could come in and shoot. He'll replace Eric Gordon pretty well. Now you're gonna lose you're gonna lose a lot of offense replacing Gershon Yabusele with Jericho Sims, but they got guys that can score the ball. They got Tyrese Maxey, Paul George. They got other guys that could pretty much put the ball in the hole. I don't think that they need a fucking Gershon Yabusele to really do that for them. That's one trade to look at. I'll send you some more because I got a couple. We could talk about it.
You've definitely done more research than I have. I'm gonna just keep it a stack.
I mean, yeah. I'm in the trade machine, bro. I'm in the trade machine, so I'm always cooking up. Here's one that involves Mitchell Robinson. This is a 3-team trade. This is kind of like me just shooting the shit. I have the Bulls, the Knicks, and the Rockets. You're gonna have a 3-team trade, and you're gonna have Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims going out in this trade. So the Bulls would acquire Mitchell Robinson and Jayshawn Tate from the Rockets. The Knicks would get Jalen Smith and Taylor Horton Tucker. The Rockets would get Chris Duarte and Jericho Sims. If the reason why you make this trade, the Bulls pretty much they're gonna get a true center to play with to play with what's this guy's name? Vukovic. Yeah, you get a true center to play next to Vukovic. You upgrade your rebounding and defense because Jalen Smith is a guy that could defend. He gets offensive rebounds. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that he does a little bit better is he could provide a little bit more offense because he can stretch the floor. And I feel like the Knicks need a couple of more versatile forward wing center combos, however you want to throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm looking for. Trades that'll help us get better and add to our versatility. Taylor Horton Tucker, he's light years better than Landry Shamet. He hasn't played much for the Bulls. He's getting DMPs right now, but I guarantee you if you give this guy minutes, he'll be light years better than Landry Shamet. Jalen Smith, he's a legit 6'9", 6'10", power forward center. You could kind of still keep Precious in the rotation. You could kind of mix and match between those two. I see people saying that they need Jonas Valanciunas. I'm not a fan of that, but I do have a Jonas Valanciunas trade. I'll put it I'll put it up there too. I'm just not a fan of this guy. Give me 1 second. Let me look at it. Hold on. Shit.
I'm putting your trade back up. Yeah,
give me a second. Let me go off screen so I can kind of.
I like that low key. I don't like that. Trade Tucker will do nothing for us. Yeah, we got a lot of mixed emotions about some of these trades for sure. And that is the beauty of this Knicks trade deadline. I would absolutely love Jonas Valanciunas, but that's just my opinion. That's been the guy that I've been after for a while. But my biggest concern, however, is just the trades in general. I mean, you never know. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm a little bit nervous to find out, but I mean, we gonna see what happens. I'm just waiting to hear from Jay.
I can't find that trade right now because I got so many in my camera roll. Listen, fuck Jonas Valanciunas. Whoever want him, go to hell. That's my trade for Jonas Valanciunas, man. I'd rather keep Mitch. I don't like the guy, man. I'm not about to get on the camera and lie. Shout out to the 234 people in here as I sip my lemon and cucumber water, bro. I promise you, I don't want Jonas Valanciunas.
Man, we have already
I'm faster
heard.
than him.
Guess what?
I could beat him in a foot race, y'all. If I could be the NBA player in the foot race, I don't want him on my team.
Guess what?
I don't want him on my team. Keep him far away from the Knicks.
Here's the thing. We have heard you lash out on this stream before. We don't need another one, all right?
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm calm. I'm coming back.
Jonas plays no defense. It's a gritty vet, but we need to go get Daniel Gafford. That's a name that I've heard a lot.
Okay, his stock is up. He's been playing extremely well. Shout out to D Black. He was posting up highlights in the group chat and all of that. Listen, some guys will play themselves out of a trade, especially with the Dallas Mavericks just traded for Anthony Davis. This guy is well documented. He does not want to play center. Do you think they about to get rid of Daniel Gafford? Of course not. He's going to play the fucking 5. You saw that highlight he had? He got 2 fucking blocks. That's what he's going to do with Anthony Davis on the floor. They're not moving him. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like that's a better luck next time type of moment for Daniel Gafford, because
that's a fact.
You can't go out and get everybody. But I will say this trade to me is very enticing because I don't think Jericho Sims has a future with the Knicks. I don't think that Mitchell Robinson, if they are going to go out and get a younger center, I don't think he's got a future with the Knicks either. Do you got any more trades that you did on that trade machine, or is it just those 2?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Those are the only ones that I'm really willing to post right now because I know I'm gonna get killed for these trades. Even though I said this is not something I'm like super crazy about, I do have to, do my due diligence, and I'm trying to learn the salaries and all that. Learning the CBA is not easy. We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by them, so I'm not going to say the name of the app. But there's a trade app that I use or whatever, as you can see, and that's where I go to pretty much learn the CBA through trades and all of that because it explains it really well. It's very clean, very concise. It tells you why the money worked, why it doesn't. It's like really easy for me to use.
Is it just NBA?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I only focus on NBA. But I'll send you the app, bro. I'm just not gonna give them no free game. We listen, man.
If that's so, because if that's
sponsorship.
Listen, man. If that's all sports, I mean, hell, I'm gonna make some crazy things happen with these NFL MLB trades. Anyway, and with the casual says with this GM on the Mavs, anything is possible. You're right. Anything is possible with the Mavericks.
Shout out to Ant, man. That's a fact, man. Me and Ant collab. We did a Tibbs feeling good. Yo, listen, man. Right after that,
never forget
he wasn't feeling too good.
Never forget where you were on February 2nd at 12. I think it was at 12:18 a.m. It was something like that. I'm gonna find you.
I was in the space. I was in the space. Shout out to State. I was in the space.
12:18 a.m.
And somebody was like, yo, Luka just got traded to the Lakers. And for like a good 30 seconds, people kind of was like, man, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Shams is hacked. This is not real. This is insane. It got to the point where he had to put a tweet out and tell everyone, this is real. Nobody believed that shit for like 5 minutes. That's the crazy part, bro. Yo, the NBA, they doing everything to give LeBron another ring. I hate that shit, bro.
It's collusion. It's straight. I
hate that shit. I'm a Kobe fan, bro. Kobe is my GOAT. Like, they vetoed that Chris Paul trade, bro. Look at the teams involved, man.
It's a mess.
The Lakers always get their fucking way, man. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say too much because Adam Silver might be one of the 251 watching, man. So shout out to you, Adam Silver, but you fucked up with that one, bro.
The reason
that's a nasty trade.
The reason that I'm gonna not even talk about this because it's a Knicks podcast. This is Western Conference teams. Who gives a fuck? We're probably not gonna see either of them.
No, shout out to State. I feel because this is an important take, bro. The reason why you correlate that back to the Knicks is because look at the price that we paid for Mikal Bridges.
Oh my god!
And look what the Lakers. No.
God.
This is a fact, brother. This is not something that I said. This is State's take. But
I know. I heard
with the sentiment.
I heard it all night. I heard it all night last night.
But JJ, it's a fact, bro. I agree with that sentiment. And I'm not saying this to shit on Leon and the Knicks. What I'm saying is the NBA definitely got a hit out on us. I said that shit on the timeline, man.
Everybody
the Knicks got to work extra hard for everything, man. We know why. Dolan ain't fucking with the league right now. Come on, man. We had to spend those 5 picks to get Mikal. We could have got him for 3. He didn't want to be there.
Guess what?
There's never a team. Hold on, JJ. There's never a team that has the leverage has to over fucking pay. The Knicks had to overpay for Mikal, knowing he wanted to be a Knick. Yeah. Knowing they knew. They tried to clean it up. Oh no, Mikal didn't ask for a trade. Bullshit. Did y'all see him on the exit day interviews? He was smiling at them niggas on the Nets. He was looking at them like, I can't wait to get away from y'all. He didn't want to be there. Come on, man. That's the only thing. Like, some people feel like we fleeced for the Karl-Anthony Towns trade.
Which we did.
Only because Julius Randle fucking sucks.
I told you.
He's an all-NBA.
I told you.
Hold on. He is an all-NBA all-star. Let me make sure I preface this right. He is an all-NBA all-star, but he hasn't done enough in his career to be looked at as a second option like a Karl-Anthony Towns. I've been on record saying this. Julius Randle is a championship 3 option at best. Karl-Anthony Towns is a little bit better than him. That's just my opinion. I used to feel like they was equal. Now that he got a Knicks jersey on,
they are not the same.
Yeah.
They never were the same.
Nah, bro. I felt differently because I was listening to the narratives, man. I wasn't watching the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Fair enough, but my hate for Julius Randle has been justified. And the fact that I was able to take a victory, not just a victory lap, I took a victory mile on Nick's Twitter on that trade was beautiful.
Man. Good times, good stuff.
Yes, it was. Leon will make another magical move, if not the trade deadline, then definitely the offseason. We have
Who said that? Who said Leon making a magical move?
Killer Kamikaze.
Oh, okay, that's a YouTuber. I mean, yo, Leon, he have made 2 impossible trades. That OG trade, that Mikal trade. You can't get me to say a bad word after those 2 trades happen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because I got tagged a homer. I'm somebody that came on Knicks Twitter calling out the franchise, calling out Leon, fire Tibbs, Trey Randall, all of that good shit. I was saying all of that, But then Leon, he got in the kitchen and started cooking up. But we need him to, do the finishing touches. You know what I'm saying? We got to round out this roster. And I'm not saying it's going to happen at the trade deadline. I really do believe the offseason is when we pick it up and we start making things happen. But, yo, we got some glaring issues right now.
Oh, yeah.
And if we don't, extend a hand to a Jacob Toppin, a Pacome Daddier, then we may have to move. Why do we have Matt Ryan on the roster? Landry Shamet, he can't be traded yet because of when he signed his contract, but I don't expect him to be back next year. I mean, we got an empty roster spot right now. I think that's going to go to a wing, but we got to get there. We got to wait till March 2nd. That's a long ways away. A lot of basketball gets played in between now and March 2nd.
That's the trade deadline, March 2nd?
No, that's not the trade deadline. That's when your years of service, depending on how long you've been a vet in the league, your years of service will determine how much the Knicks have to pay you. So I think a guy like TJ Warren and Chuma Okeke, we take a serious look at them on the March 2nd, where you could bring in guys and it'll literally cost you the lowest amount of dollars for the rest of the season. That's pretty much all it falls down to. I would like to see Chuma Okeke. I like TJ Warren. He's a scorer, but I think that Chuma Okeke, he does a little bit of everything, and he's a legit 6'7", 6'8" wing. He can guard 2 through 4. He can rebound. He can shoot the 3 wide open. He can get to the rim. You know what I'm saying? He's not the most agile, athletic guy, but he does a lot. He's a jack of all trades. And he was playing well for Orlando. He absolutely cooked us last year when he was Orlando Magic. Give the guy a chance. He's not a baby. He's 26 years old. You know what I'm saying? He's been around the league. He's seen some things. The reason why he didn't get a real opportunity in Orlando is due to having a glut of guards and wings ahead of him. Guys, you got to play. You got to play a Jonathan Isaac. You got to play a Franz Wagner. You got to play Mo Wagner. You got to play Paolo. You got to play fucking, who was it? Anthony Black and all of those. You got to give those guys an opportunity. These are your young guys. Unfortunately, the Knicks don't do that. We drafted Pacome Daddier, first-round pick. Barely see the fucking kid. Got to give these guys a chance. Jacob Toppin been on the team 2 seasons now, man. You can't give the guy spot 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Come on, man.
That's another
gotta
one.
Do better.
Tyler Kolek, my boy. You haven't seen much of him either. But speaking of young, I'm going to segue this into our final topic of the night. Know Your Foe is back. We got a young gun squad coming into New York trying to take us on. The 2 seed in the Western Conference, the red-hot Houston Rockets. How the hell is this team second in the Western Conference? I truly would like to know.
I'll tell you why. They got a bunch of young guys and a couple vets, and they mesh really well. The Houston Rockets were my dark horse team coming into the season to be one of those top teams in the West. We was having this conversation, I think, in Eddie's space. Shout out to Billy, or shout out to Uncle Brutus. It was Uncle Brutus. We was talking about this, and I was in the group chats with this. I was saying, like, yo, Houston is really good. I liked Ime Udoka as a coach. After the Knicks lost to Miami, I wanted us to go after him. I wanted us to look at probably Monty Williams if we couldn't get that guy. But just look at their roster. Jalen Green, he's improved leaps and bounds, y'all. This guy is a better shooter. He's a great, great physical specimen, athletic guard. You know what I'm saying? 6'5", 6'6". He could do some things, man. He's been really well. Tari Eason, Amin Thompson, bro. Jabari Smith went down and Amin Thompson turned into a star, bro. Like, legit. You know what I'm saying? He's playing a power forward. I wasn't high on this guy, man. I absolutely thought he was going to drop in the draft because this is a shooting league, and coming in, this kid couldn't fucking shoot, man. Shout out to Ime Udoka for figuring out how to make this guy into a star and getting him minutes without him being the best fucking shooter, being a wing that, you know, just he's going to get you from point A to point B, athletic finishing, like finish around the rim, rebounding, using his athleticism to create some defensive plays, getting the passing lanes, block shots. Like, that's what you want to see. The Rockets got a bunch of guys like that. They got a bunch of wings. They got a bunch of tough guys at the 2 and the 3 positions. And they got fucking Alperen Şengün, man. They drafted well.
That dude is a problem. They got a problem.
Cam Whitmore was in the fucking G League to start the season. He didn't play no games. They brought him up a couple weeks ago. He's basically their 6th man. He's been playing fucking well. They still got Jay Sean Tate, Dylan Brooks. You know what I'm saying? Fred VanVleet. They got a lot of guys, man. Yo, the Knicks got their work cut out for them, man. We can't have a slow start from Karl Anthony Towns.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? We can't have bad shot selections from Jalen. We're going to need all hands on deck because Houston has everything we struggle against. They got the transition. They got the long, lengthy wings. They got the switchability. They got a low post threat, Şengün. They got a deep team. They got everything the Knicks struggle against, y'all. So we're going to have to be all hands on deck. That means the coaching got to be flawless. The fucking defensive rotations got to be flawless. Guys got to come in like this the last game they about to play in their life. We got to really go hard if we want this Houston Rockets win, man. Do I think we can do it? I would like to hope so. I just don't know, man. I just don't know, man. We took a nasty loss to the Lakers, so I don't know what to expect, man. That's my take on Knicks Rockets, man.
That's some bad spirit. I'm not going to lie to you. I've gone on record and I have said that we have played some of the better Western Conference teams. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to take a little bit of the blame for the Lakers game because I have been in Uncle Brutus's space the last 3 games. And ironically, the one game I didn't show up, they lost. So
stop that superstition. Yo, JJ, listen, let me tell you something, brother. The fans could talk all the shit they want. It is up to the players and the coaches to really get it the fuck done. What we say is nothing. We're in an echo chamber. We're just shooting the shit. Obviously. These guys got to go out and perform. I refuse to allow you to put that loss on yourself when I watch Karl Anthony Towns give absolutely no effort.
Fair enough.
I refuse to let you put that that loss on yourself when Jalen had fucking 4 or 5 turnovers and just forcing things.
Yeah.
I refuse when we got fucking Landry Shamet guarding LeBron.
That's pretty
bad. He's hunting that guy. There's no way really you could take responsibility for that loss when we watch those guys not give no effort and fucking just let a lowly team come in and beat us on our home floor. I don't give a fuck if it's LeBron. He's 40 years old.
I get what you mean. But what I am going to say is I feel like not going to try to sound cringe at all, but I mean, I think the 45-minute delay after 8 o'clock kind of fuck with them a little bit. But I digress. This is a good team that we're playing in Houston. No, it's true. And people wonder why the NBA and people wonder why the ratings are down because we got a start time at 8 o'clock. Then we got a 40-minute pregame show. Then you've got the actual game and it's not over till midnight. And people wonder why the NBA ratings are down.
It's a Saturday night. Look, I don't know about you, JJ. I know you're a young brother, so this doesn't apply to you. But to the adults in the world, I have a son. I have a wife. I'm home on a Saturday night. You feel me? Like we do our family activities early on the weekend. So I was actually happy that the Knicks played late. I don't think that that's a problem. I feel like that should have helped them more. You got more time to rest. You got more time to prepare, watch film, spend time with your family. Like that matters. That helps the player play well. You know what I'm saying? Having a good day, getting rest, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe getting a treatment, all of that shit. So I didn't have a problem with the late start.
I have a problem though when you've the game's supposed to start at 8 o'clock and it's not start until 8:50. That's a problem, in my opinion. But again, that I got to get back on topic here. This whole thing with the Rockets, I mean, this is a good team we're playing. Alfred Sengun is one of my favorite players in the NBA. He's been an absolute wrecking ball. I think the Knicks have played really well against the Western Conference, except that Lakers game.
Mm-hmm.
But we heard the same song and dance about Memphis. Then we heard it about Sacramento. Then it was about Memphis. Then it was about Denver. At the end of the day, this is just another Western Conference team. This is another team that thinks they're going to come into the Garden and beat us. And not many teams have been able to do that as of lately. I think the Knicks have been playing good basketball. I think they're definitely going to come out a lot better than they did because they didn't just lose. They basically got their ass busted on national television, by the way. After that happened, surely they're going to come out with some fire. They're going to come out with some fire tomorrow. I'm expecting the Knicks to win by double digits. I'm going to give them a 10-point win against the Rockets, 125-115. I'm also going to go out on record and say is that Knick game will be streamed live on this channel. Me and Jack are going to call it at 8 o'clock tomorrow or 7:30, whatever the start time is. So
shout out to my young brother Jack, man. Yes, Jack. Sir. Appreciate you.
He's the best. He's basically like my partner in crime on this channel. So, yeah, we'll be calling that game tomorrow night. The keys to this game for me are they have to play better wing defense. I don't want to see Landry Shamet on Jalen Green. For the love of God, if I have to see that man guarding Jalen Green, I might throw something. Whether it's my hat, my jersey, like I'm just gonna lose my mind. Second of all,
listen, real quick, I'll give Landry Shamet a chance only for the simple fact that we need a win, man, and we need to beat a good team. The Rockets are top seed in the West, so if it takes if it comes down to a Landry Shamet guarding the Jalen Green, if that shit provides us a win, I'm all for it, man. Because that's all I'm about, man. Is this team improving and getting shit right? You know what I'm saying? We need everybody, all hands on deck.
I agree. How do you feel about OG being listed as quote questionable for tomorrow? I'm not gonna lie, we've seen this song.
Shout out to Yanni.
Shout out to Yanni. We've seen this song and dance before. We saw it last year with OG. The same shit is happening again. So that is a little bit concerning. I say just rest him until he's 100%. You know you're going to make the playoffs no matter what. You know you're going to probably be the 3 seed no matter what. So you can take your time a little bit. There's still like 40 games left. You could take your sweet time just a little bit. Take a couple of games. And if he's fucked, he's fucked. There's nothing you could do about it.
I'm in the middle, y'all. I can't. Okay. I want to believe the Knicks. I want to believe the Knicks. I want to believe this is a foot sprain. I want to believe he's questionable, which is a really good sign that it's not a real injury. He might have just twinned something. You know that OG is a guy that's going to incentivize his health. We've seen it in Toronto. He's not going to really play through injury. He's not going to push it to the limit. He's going to try to do everything he can to preserve his body because I think he knows that, you know, he's nimble. He's injury prone. So I respect that. There's others that feel otherwise, and they make a very, very strong case. And that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm in the middle. I don't want to get too negative or too positive with an injury because, you know, that would devastate me. If the front office is lying to us and this is worse, I don't know how I could feel about that being a fan.
Especially with them doing it already. They did this last year.
There were some hiccups, you know, but they have a new medical staff. I have to make sure that we tell these 309 people the truth. We can't just, you know, sugarcoat shit. We got to keep it 100. That was a different medical staff. I think that they learned from those mistakes. So I'm hoping for the best, y'all. That's all I can say right now. I don't even want to talk too much about it because I believe in energy, and I just feel like negativity, like putting negativity or focusing on it, like let's just hope for the best. That's what I believe. I'm just gonna hope for the best.
I think them saying questionable is better than being not complete, but the history of this team gives us the PTSD to not believe that shit. That's basically what we just said.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Shout out to Yanni. And this is why we have such a great fan base, because you can't pull the wool over our eyes, man. You can't do that.
We're going to find shit out one way or another.
Exactly. This is a very resourceful fan base. I had a fucking doctor, me and Omar, shout out to Omar Hagazi. We happen to be shooting the shit in the space. I noticed that Dr. Ben Simmons is in there, medical doctor, legit doctor. He comes up and he starts breaking down the Mitch injury for us. So this is like, this fan base is very powerful, man. And we can get to the bottom of things. We can figure some shit out just by just being around and talking and shooting the shit. So like to the people that's like really deep in it, the journalists and all of that, the Begleys, the Stephen Bondis, the Steve Poppers, you know, guys that take the time out to get on the timeline and talk to the fans and answer questions. Shout out to Keith Smart. He's also someone that I rely on. I ask him questions. Chris Winfield, LTK, like we there's people that I could reach out, I could talk to, kind of get a feel for things, see what's going on. And it's like, right now, everybody just hold your horses. You know what I'm saying? OG is somebody we need. So let's just hope for the best. Let's just put some positivity in the air, because I do believe in energy. So let's put some positivity in the air and hope for the best. But if it comes out that OG is injured and we're going to lose him for an extended period of time, that's going to hurt the Knicks, man, because we're not ready for this moment. There's so many reasons that I could point out why we're not ready, but the most glaring one is our wing depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to struggle really locking down guys. OG is one of our best defenders. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on Josh Hart. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Mikal Bridges. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Deuce and Precious when they come in the game, Landry Shamet. So we're gonna need some bodies, and I'm hoping that our coach really, wakes up and smells the fucking beans and say, hey, I'm gonna run Jacob, I'm gonna run Pacome, I'm gonna stagger Mikel and Josh with one or both of these wings. Like, that's just where I'm at with it. I'm just hoping for the best. We're gonna see tomorrow against these Rockets.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I mean, that's pretty much all I've got to say about this whole thing. Thank you to the 311 people that tuned in. You guys are absolutely awesome. And we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Let's go Knicks and have a great day, everybody.